us, and it first that is what they do is take us. Good. Oh. Well. Oh. For the fun. So that was basically the video, and the video makes a little bit of sense to me in a way that just trying to make people use the stairs instead of the automatic stairs. It was just a small change, and the small change is just to put music on it. For me, in a certain way, this is about the business. So if you make a small change, and a small change just to put music on, it's gonna make a lot of difference in your business. They say that if you want to have a good relationship, Maria, do you have a good relationship? If you want to have a good relationship with your spouse, if you write every day at the end of the day, anything that you like from your spouse that day, and if you write it every day, and at the end of the year, on her birthday or on Christmas, you give the list of 365 reasons of why you like your spouse in every single day, obviously it's going to be an excellent present. So small changes can make a lot of difference in your business. So I just want to start with that and just proceed with the meeting. Make sense? So the last month, and I have seen Pulido, the last month for me, I believe for you, Maria, also, it's been very peaceful. The only difference is that we've been very busy, but we haven't seen a big increase in the production. And I think that it's harder for the real estate agents right now to put clients into escrow. So we qualify clients, we pre-qual clients, and with pre-qual clients, I mean, a lot of clients, but we're not turning them into production. And I wanted to ask the real estate agents here, like Dennis Quinones, if you can give me an idea, a brief view, Dennis, of what's going on with the market and why you guys are having a lot of problem turning qualified clients into escrows. Can you say a little bit about the facts?
Yeah, so it's still an inventory problem. I think people already got used to the rate, so that's no longer quite an issue. Affordability is still a bit of an issue, but it's still inventory issue.
Mm-hmm. So inventory is one of the problems. The other problem that Dennis is talking about, and it's true, is about the interest rates. So sometimes we do qualify clients that they're qualified for $700,000, they're qualified for $800,000, but the client is a little bit afraid of the payment. So it makes it harder. Or they want to keep a budget of $700,000, and now they have to go themselves to $750,000, and the interest rates are not helping. I don't think that the interest rates are going to help in the next months. Pulido, if you want to say something about the interest rates, and when do you see that they're going to probably get better, or if they will get better this year?
Yeah, I think it's going a little bit slower than what they had thought as far as lowering the rates. If you guys been following it, we had the peak like in about October last year. At the end of October was the peak when they were the highest. Then they eased up a little bit toward the end of December. And then the whole month of February, they just kept going up again. So why? That's just going off of economic reports. I mean, they anticipate what the Fed's going to do in their next meeting, and act accordingly. But so just basically placing bets on what the Fed's going to do, and as long as inflation keeps going up, I don't think they're going to lower them anytime soon. So I don't think we should bank on interest rates being lower in the next, at least in the short term. Right.
Thank you, Pernil. But at the same time, why am I so busy? I mean, it was true. I get for the last couple of months, and I see Pulido also on his office, and I see Maria on her office. Why are we so busy? And I think that the reason that we're so busy is, I think it's a misconception, and this is where we need to be very intelligent ourselves and very knowledgeable, that there is a misconception, Maria, if you tell me if I'm wrong, that the loans are very easy. Then if you want to buy a house, you can buy a house because there's so plenty of loans, and it's very easy to buy a house. And I think that it is easy. It is easy from where we were before, but everything has a logic. And the loan programs that we're going to talk about right now, they're within a logic. They make it easier, but it's not necessarily, as we say in Spanish, la culpa es pecho. It's not. They're hard. So I think that there's a misconception from the clients and the misconception from the real estate agents that the real estate agents are no fault, that they think that there's a lot of programs that help the clients and it should be easy for the clients to qualify. Maria, am I wrong?
No, that's correct. What I'm seeing is that we have a lot of like so by that time we have a client qualified, fully qualified, according to express studies.
So what Maria is saying is that, so we qualify a lot of clients. Last week, and for whatever reason it was last week, I had three different clients at three different real estate agents that they wanted to qualify and they just went to disability. And for me, is why are you going to buy if you're in disability? It doesn't make any sense to me. Well, I just want to buy. I don't share that with the client and I don't share that with the real estate agent. Obviously, I have to be professional. But in my mind, like, dude, you just went on disability. I mean, what's wrong with you? And then one client told me, well, I wanted to qualify with my income. And I said, okay, you can qualify with your income. You can qualify with your income with disability. If it's short-term disability, I can use short-term disability to qualify you. So, but in my mind, I'm saying, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And then the client tells me, well, I'm going on disability because of stress. Now they're talking about like stress, and I'm thinking to myself, and the first question that came to my mind, obviously, guys, I'm sharing this with you guys, but I'm sharing only with you guys. I didn't share this with the client. The first thing that came to my mind, I says, well, are you married? And he says, no. And in my mind, I says, well, don't get married. Because if you get married now, you're going to find out what really stress is. So don't get married. But the guy went to disability because he imagine this, because he was so stressed, and now you want to buy a house? And he wants to buy a house because the realtor is pushing him to buy a house, but he has a girlfriend. And I said, well, maybe I made a mistake because the guy has a girlfriend, and maybe the girlfriend makes a lot of money. I says, well, your wife, I'm sorry for your girlfriend. This is what she just came back from disability. I was like, son of a bitch. I mean, you're going on disability. The girlfriend just came back from disability. You want to buy a house? Have you looked at the prices of the houses? I mean, I shit in my pants when I bought my house for $560,000. I thought it was so amazing, $500,000. But what went to my mind with buying a house, I will never think of buying a house when I'm going on disability. Trust me, never. But I think there is a misconception that we're talking about, that the programs are so easy and the programs are helping the buyers. Well, they are, but not that easy. And trust me, that was one client on disability. I had two other clients that just went to disability and they wanted to qualify for a mortgage. I have another client that is due to go in retirement. So he says, I want to buy before I go into retirement. Okay. So are you going to qualify with the retirement income? Or do you want me to qualify with this income? No, I want to qualify with this income. Well, how are you going to afford a house when you go to retirement? So those are the questions that you need to ask. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the programs that are available. And the programs that are available to you, But every single program has a catch. Every single program has a catch. Now, this is not what you're going to see when you receive emails from other vendors. This is not what you're going to see when they're promoting the programs. This is not what the real estate agents see also in their defense. So for example, the DSCR loans, I can qualify you with no taxes. No taxes, I don't need anything. And we can qualify you with no taxes. Well, it does have a catch. Every program has a catch. The rental income needs to cover the mortgage. If you buy a house right now, for $800,000, the mortgage is going to be around how much, Marina?
Well, it depends on the payment, but about 70,000.
Between 6 and 7,000, depending on the down payment. Okay, is 75% of the rental income going to cover that mortgage payment? I mean, trust me, if it's a house, is that going to cover that? Unless you buy the very nice area for $800,000, but it's not going to cover the mortgage. So it makes it harder. Now, if you think about it, because a lot of people already brought this to ourselves, but the banks are not done either. They said you can buy a house with no taxes at all. I don't have to prove any income or anything. So if you want to qualify for an owner-occupied property, it's harder to qualify for an owner-occupied property than for an investment property. So can I do a DSCR loan as an owner-occupied property? No, you can't. It's for investment. But can I say that I'm going to invest in that property, but I'm actually going to live in that property? So I already own a property. I want to buy another property, and I'm going to say that it's investment. Well, the lenders are not done either. They're going to look at your house, and they're going to look at the house that you're buying. And if the house that you're buying is better looking or better situation than the house that you own, they're going to question that. Because they're going to think, Oscar, I mean, you're going from a condominium and now you want to buy a house. I mean, it doesn't make sense that you're going to invest in the house if you own a condominium. I think that you're going to go and move to the house. So it does have a catch. Now, when we promote it as, we have a program, there's no property, no taxes at all. Two things. One, the rental income needs to cover the mortgage. At least 75% of the rental income needs to cover the mortgage. If you're under 75%, the SCR cannot do the loan. We can't do the loan. So it needs to be between 0.75 to 1% or higher than 1% in order to do that. Does it make sense? Now, the bank statement program. I'm getting a lot of leads, and for whatever reason, I received the lead, and then I receive another email with 12-month bank statements. And I go with the real estate agent, and I say, well, why are you sending me the 12-month bank statements? Oh, because he might qualify with the bank statements. This guy is way turned. I mean, the bank statements are for self-employment income, for self-employment borrowers. Now, how many bank statements do we need, Pulido?
12.
12. Is that correct, Shana? We need 12 months.
Which program have some afterwards?
Excuse Shana. Shana's at the gym, so we cannot hear her correctly because she's at the gym. She's doing push-ups right now. When you're finished with the push-ups, Shana, just let us know, and we'll get back to you. 12-month bank statements. A lot of misunderstanding on the 12-month bank statement program. You can use 12, you can use 24. But a misunderstanding with the bank statement program is that you only need to be self-employed for 1 year. Why? Because you're asking me for 12-month bank statements. So if you're asking me for 12-month bank statements, well, how long you been self-employed? Well, I just became self-employed a year ago. You don't qualify. You need to be self-employed for 2 years. So if they're providing bank statements from a corporation and the corporation was incorporated a year ago, your time is not going to qualify. So those are the things that we kind of make it very easy, but it's not that easy. We kind of make it like, 12-month bank statements, 2-month bank statements, 3-month bank statement. We can use a P&L. Well, the P&L, the bank statement program, all those programs, you need to be 2 years of self-employed. 2 years of self-employed. So those are the things that we have to be with the real estate agents. We have to be in front of them, and we have to share this information with them. We have to share this information with the clients also. The VOE program. Yesterday, I was talking to three real estate agents, and they asked me, Oscar, do you have the VOE program? I said, I do have it. But tell us how does it work? I said, we do have it. You can do everything. We can do conventional. But if you're going to use the VOE program, you have to do the VOE through a third party. A third party being Credco, being one of those companies. Even if they don't provide the information, you can request that they do the VOE, and then we'll follow up, and they will do the VOE with the company. Now, the three real estate agents, which have a lot of experience, to my surprise, but again, this is not anything against the real estate agents, but to my surprise, they told me, well, does it have the income on the VOE? I said, well, of course. How are you going to qualify? It says, well, isn't it stated income? Is it just a verification of employment? I said, no. The VOE has to have the income from 2022 to 2023 and the year to date, and with that income, you need to qualify. And then that reaction was the same reaction when I heard the VOE program. I said, well, why don't you qualify with the W-2 then? I said, well, that's the same thing that I thought when it came out. Why the VOE if I had the W-2s? Why the VOE when I have the W-2s, when I have his income? How in the hell did I qualify the client? In the bank's mentality, or in the U.S. mentality, their mentality is, we're going to save you forwarding information from the W-2 and your pay stubs. We can do it with just the VOE, so you can save the paperwork. Don't send me the paperwork, we'll do the VOE. Now, true, I had a client. I just qualified a client. But the client told me, hey, I have to work 2 jobs, and one job is this one. I'm going to forward the W-2s, and I'm going to forward the pay stubs. And the second job, well, I haven't worked too much this year. I said, well, have you had it for 2 years? Yes. But I haven't worked for much the last month because they didn't call me and everything. Where do you work? And she says, Walmart. And I said, okay, Walmart. Okay, that's fine. So I entered the lead. In my system, and I called Prissy. I said, hey, Prissy, can you run a VOE on this client? And Prissy did the favor for me. As long as we have a lead, did the VOE. It came Walmart, so now I have the income for Walmart. The client didn't have it because it's a side job. It's a small income, but it's a small income that $800 a month for me. It helps a lot on the loan. So in that case, yeah, that's the whole purpose of the VOE program. If the client cannot find the W-2s, if the client cannot get the pay stubs, then you can do the VOE. But it has to be a third party. 1 year taxes. Now Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they can do 1 year taxes if you get it approved. 1 year taxes, self-employment income. So go ahead and file your taxes. And file your taxes as self-employed, and you're done. Well, the rule is that you have to be 5 years self-employed. How are you going to confirm that? Well, if I'm making a loan for Dennis, for example, Dennis is a real estate agent. I mean, I just go to his license, and if he got his license more than 5 years ago, I'm set. I don't need a CPA letter because I have his license. And his license was issued in let's just say in 2015. So he has 9 years as a real estate agent. That's it. I don't need to confirm more than 5 years. But if you run into a client that he's only been self-employed for 2 years, and you want the CPA letter to say that it's 5 years, then you better provide a CPA letter that is 5 years. And then you hope to God that they don't do a 4506 on the rest of the 5 years, and then you're going to find out that he was not self-employed. So very tricky. You can do 1 year taxes, but it can be like that. The other thing, when you're doing 1 year taxes and you're asking the client to file the taxes have to be paid off. Taxes have to be paid off. If they're not paid off on FHA, it has to be a payment arrangement. And the payment arrangement, you have to pay 3 payments in 3 different months. So if a client is going to do a payment arrangement, he has to provide that he is going to pay $250 a month, and those $250 they have to be paid in 3 different months. Now, a lot of loan officers come to us. Great, that's the rule. That's the rule. Okay, I'm going to tell my client to do that. He's going to do that. The client submits to the IRS an application for a payment arrangement. On the application, and I don't know if somebody does accounting or not here, if Dulce is in the meeting or not. Dulce is in the meeting. So Dulce, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you do an application for a payment plan, you say, hey, IRS, can I pay you $250 a month? Can I do this? And then you can send $250. So you already started sending $250, and the IRS doesn't respond to your request. And then the next month comes and you send $250, and then the IRS accepts your request. But you're already in the second month. And because you were already in the second month, you said, well, I already put it in escrow because by the time that I put it in escrow, it's 2 months. And by the time that I close, it's going to be 3 months. Well, show me the payment arrangement. And then when you tell the loan officer, show me the payment arrangement, you can ask me if I'm wrong, but every loan officer, every client, they come up with the weirdest of stories that why they don't have a payment arrangement approved. In the same token, the loans are so easy. But at the same time, it's hard. I'm going to talk to you about a program that I don't think that we have explored that much. And we haven't explored that much the use of it. When I'm doing a self-employment 1 year taxes, and the real estate agent says, do you have the 1 year taxes? Yes, I do. Let's just say Cecilia. Cecilia brings me a client and says, hey, can we do a 1 year taxes? And the client has 640 FICO. One, it's going to be very hard to get it approved on a conventional loan. Second, the rate is going to be horrible. I think it's easier if you do a DSCR. But the rate is going to be horrible at 640, especially with 5%. To the point that if you have a client between 620 and 640 on a conventional loan with 5% down payment, I stay away from it. I'm scared of those programs. I'm scared. But the program that I want to talk to you about and that I have never seen used, and I already have a client qualified, I will tell you later on if it goes into escrow, and I will tell you later on if I closed it, is that FHA can do a 1 year tax self-employed, as long as the client went from wage earner to self-employed in the same line of work, and as long as the client has 2 years of working experience, preferably 2 years in the wage earner job. So if a client was a trucker, and this is the situation that I have right now, if the client was a trucker working for a company as a driver, and he worked for this company for more than 10 years, last year he became self-employed, now he can file his taxes as self-employed, and he can qualify with 1 year taxes on the self-employment. Now, if you cannot come up with the greatest idea, Gonzalo, that you're gonna say, yeah, but he became self-employed in July, or let's just say March. So March, he's already been self-employed for a whole year, because March of 2023 to March of 2024, he's already been self-employed for 1 year. When you provide the income taxes are going to be divided by 12. Maybe you're right that the guy has 1 year of self-employment, but the income taxes will be divided by 12. So it's better if you say that the guy just went off self-employed for the beginning of the year. Plan it that way. Uh-huh.
Hey, Oscar.
Yes.
Maybe a couple people, they don't want to say, but they missed that part. So, someone became self-employed, let's say April 1st of last year. So, April 1st of this year is going to be 1 year self-employed, correct? So, the income that you earn, they're going to take from April 1st of the end of the year. So, they're actually going to take 9 months of income and divide it into all of 2023. That's what you're saying?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So, in your taxes, in theory, in your taxes, when you file self-employment income, in theory, in theory and in practice, you went self-employment since April. So you're reporting the income for just from April to December. So can the income be divided by 9 months? And the answer is no. It's going to be divided by the whole year. It's going to be divided by the whole year. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not saying how to do it, but if you have a guy who went self-employed with a 640 FICO, you can do it FHA. As long as you file taxes as self-employment, FHA, 640, 1 year of taxes, and call it a day. Mm-hmm. If the guy, for whatever reason, you're going to say, well, he worked as a driver, and he also has a self-employment income. Remember, you need two years of taxes, 2 years with the 2 employments. So if the guy is still working as a wage earner, and now you're saying that he went self-employed, you're gonna have to select one of the incomes, not both of them, one of the incomes. Make sense? In order to use both incomes, you need 2 years with both jobs. Mm-hmm. Any questions, any comments? Nothing? No?
Oscar, have you had a situation where you have a client with one job making not that much, and then they get a second job, but they keep the first one? So let's say they have 6 months, but they make a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to switch that income for that better job, even though they only have 6 months?
Yes.
You switch the income?
Yes. Yeah, so what Maria is asking is saying, I work at, let's just say, McDonald's. And I work at McDonald's for 5 years. And I still work at McDonald's, but 6 months ago I got hired by Cheesecake Factory. And the Cheesecake Factory has hired me as a chef. Which income do I use? You can only use one income. You can only use one income, and you can decide which income to use. If McDonald's is hired, you can use McDonald's, or a Cheesecake Factory is hired, you can use Cheesecake Factory. Okay?
I mean, before I couldn't use it, but I know that changed.
No. Pulido, is Maria saying that before she cannot use it?
No, not necessarily. Keep in mind though, if you work at both McDonald's and Cheesecake Factory, and you have variable hours on both, they're still gonna average, let's say you've been at Cheesecake Factory 6 months ago earning more, they're gonna take that income plus the previous one at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the
Even though
last 6
still
months at
current.
McDonald's.
Even if it's still
And they're
current
still
job.
gonna average your
Yeah.
income based on that.
So what Pulido is saying, if the hours are variable, then they're gonna average, but they're gonna average also with the McDonald's income for the previous months. My interpretation at the beginning is if you get for example, a full-time job, your full-time job is pick one. The one that you make more money, you can select that one and you can go with that one. Mm-hmm. Nurses do that a lot. Nurses.
Because actually, I have a scenario right now. We open escrow today. It's a VA loan. He works for season 6 months,
Uh-huh.
and then the other first job they had it for 5 years is an IGSS.
Uh-huh.
So obviously the season has more income.
Uh-huh.
So I can switch that income to
That is
season.
correct. If it's salary based, you can use it to see some, and that's it. Loan, you can be with 1 year on a second job, and you can use both income. As long as, and this is gonna come in the verification of employment, as long as the verification of employment says, well, this job